So I'm going to show how I found yesterday best to approach my 7550. I've been having a lot of struggle opening it, but I found a new method that works for me a little bit easier with controlling that counter rotation that is so important with the security pins of the 7550. Now this is a Dimple pick. This one has a nice combination of some nice highs and lows. Demonstration that it does open and work. So what I found is that most of the tension tools tend to be a little bit sloppy and loose. I have the full range from the Sparrows, and I have some of the Multipick ones here from their beginner set, but none of them would quite sit right, even from Lock tools. Again, all of them are always a little bit weird, so trying to do that counter rotation when there is play just wasn't an option. And for the better fits, it tended to be closer to the right side here, and this is usually the space that we'll actually be using to pick, because if we pick from the left, there's just not going to be enough room to do the rotation without oversetting the lower pins. So anyway, I have the two Z-bars from Lock tools, so I'm going to use the more solid one on the side here, and then the tapered one on the top there. So now the two are actually going to support each other, and now I can apply constant pressure here, and I can now control the left side, the counter rotation, just so much easier, and it's so subtle, so gentle. Again, excellent control that I find that I get, especially with my finger supported on the lock body, to slowly rotate back and just to guide it back gently. And we're going to use the number 10 and number 5 from Multipick on the flags. Now the number 5 by itself is possible to use. I just find that because it has the thicker body, it tends to be more stiff, and then I'm not cautious with my pressure, and I tend to overset the pins. So using the thinner number 10 that just cannot reach high enough for the super high sets, it just reminds me to use smaller pressure. If I start to see when I position the pick, to even get a good view of the little groove there. So there's a little groove right here that I try to rest the body of the pick into. And so as I'm turning, if I'm putting too much pressure, either my pick will start to lift up, or it will start going into the main part where the pins are. And then I know I'm actually putting too much pressure, or again, there will be a little bit of flex in the body. And then I know, okay, ease off on the pressure, rather focus on the counter rotation instead. And then later with the number 5, I will properly set the higher pins. But even for that one, the warding on that upper side there, I seem to sometimes catch it. And again, this is very hard to capture this on the video. I've tried now multiple times. I've accidentally stopped this video multiple times. But essentially what I had to do is if I just do it here, it doesn't quite set it well enough. It's going to be way too hard from this angle. So I just won't do it quite enough. So what I actually had to do is too far here. I'm going to catch a warning on the opposite side. And too far here, it's just not going to reach high enough. So what I had to do for the high ones is do this scoop and roll motion. So it's not just the rotation, but an actual movement. So to scoop it in like this to get that high sets. But anyway, let's grab this. Apply some counter rotation. Slowly until, yeah, I felt it. You may not even hear the clicks because again, it's all so subtle in how it sets as a result. I try to keep the tension down, nice and gentle. If I start to feel the big flex, then I ease off. Oh, that's actually the sound of one dropping. Next minute. Okay, nice set on that one. This might be 4. is quite firm. And barely any counter rotation, so I just keep rotating and see. Nope. I may have totally missed that. So let's go back to 1. I'm gonna set 2, wiggled into like a bit of a false set. That is the deep, very, very high set pin, so goes into that false set quite easily with these spooled security pins. This is now 3. Feel a bit of a counter rotation, and I'm just guiding it gently there. Got 3. Make sure I'm properly under 4, yeah. Come up. There we go. On the counter rotation for 4. Perfect. Got that. Just try to get under number 5. A bit of counter rotation. And again, I just love how much this gives feedback for that counter rotation so that I know to continue with the pick. There we go, 5. Make sure I'm all the way back. Another way that I was learning where to find is going all the way to the back, turning the pick, coming forward. Now it will bump it up against 5. And then I rotate down and check it from there. So sometimes I actually like to pick from back to front and then front to back. 5 feels fine. 4 feels a little bit springy. I think that's fine. All of them feel pretty okay right now. So now let's go to the number 5 from Multipick and try to see if we can set any of the more higher ones. Let's go into the number 2 that I know is a little bit higher. Trying to control it so slightly. Doing it super slow. Oh, I dropped one. Deeper ones, but let's go through. Just find whatever dropped. There it was. It seemed to be number 3 that was dropped. Number 1 dropped as a result, but number 3 is set. Turn. Okay, number 1 is set properly again. Feel like I do like a little bit of back and forth to make sure I'm really on that peak of the pin. I think I got number 2 set, and I think 3 dropped again. Gently wiggle that underneath. Counter. Four. Go back. Make sure I'm actually getting number 5. Counter rotation, just encourage that there. And there's the open. So yeah, like I said, I've been really enjoying this 2-pin, 2 tension wrench method. This is one of my a little bit longer opens because with the headphones I cannot quite hear. But yeah, ever since I've been doing that yesterday, it has been consistently much easier to open. So give it a shot.